Well, we're going to run with it. Okay, welcome to the Life Couch, Shannon.
Thank you.
Very formal.
Ah, nice. Like.
You're here in my gym, Elements 5, doing just here for the weekend, doing some training, power bag training, some battling rope training for Australian Institute of Kettlebells and Functional Training Institute, as it's known overseas.
That's the one.
Give me some insight on what you do for them.
So I'm one of the facilitators for their courses. They offer a huge range of courses in Australia, CEC courses for personal trainers. Started out as a kettlebell company, but they've expanded by demand through things, other tools and other modalities. So they offer power bag, battling ropes, mobility courses, and then pair up and they do some rehab stuff, barbell things like that. And I am one of the facilitators for some of their kettlebell stuff and the power bags and the battling ropes. I think that's all I do for them. Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay. Well, this is a 10-minute count, so I'm just going to press the button. So you got 10 minutes. All right. Go.
That's subtle.
I know, it's subtle. How'd you get involved in doing coaching? Do you love it?
Yeah. So coaching for them, or you mean coaching in general?
Why not? Both.
Both. Alrighty. Well, they're very different answers.
1970.
Yes, it was a cold day, 1979, September. No, October 17. The day that I burst forth into this planet, and it's been all smooth sailing since then. But in terms of becoming a coach for AIK, it was a matter of discovering how important education is for me. I was actually looking for a hobby where my wife, she's a runner and she likes to do activities like that on the weekends.
She's here too.
And then she is. Hi. Cheryl, g'day, how you going? And in terms of me, I was just looking for sort of that pastime to sort of fill in my weekends. And when I sort of went down to find out things that I valued, I discovered that education in terms of what we do for work was important for me, so I started looking into it, and then I ended up stumbling upon an apprenticeship, or applying for an apprenticeship with these guys, and fast forward a couple of years later, they gave me a gig as one of their presenters.
How many years have you been doing that?
Let's see, maybe 3 or 4 years for them. Oh, geez, I tell you what, time flies. Maybe 3 years. Yeah. Apprentice for a year, and then, or maybe a year, and then working for them, facilitating for maybe 2-3 years, I think. Cool. Yeah, I have to pull out a calendar to check that out. But yeah, it feels like a long time, but it mightn't be as long as it feels.
So you've got your own business.
You do?
You come from, where are we? We're
in Aubrey. So we're on the Aubrey, New South Wales border there, on the good side. The Aubrey, Lone Dog Personal Training. If you are anywhere within a 300 kilometre radius of that keeps us just outside of where we are here.
So it's no competition, mate.
No, right? It's a community thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, we are born and bred Aubrey, so that's our hometown. We just service the community of Aubrey, Wodonga, and the surrounding areas.
What type of training do you do then, Lone Dog?
If we were to sort of try to categorise it, I guess group training is the thing we're most known for, even though it's a lot of people like to term or put the label on it as like boot camps. That was the original intent, was one of those things, just to get a bunch of people together and exercise. Yeah. But it's far different from the boot camp scenarios that most people conjure up when they hear the word. There's no drill instructors or army camo or making people feel ill through movement.
Do you have a stick?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's all functional stuff, obviously kettlebells and you know.
Yeah, so I guess if I was to paint a picture of what our facility looks like, it's just a big open room, basically. And, you know, down one side there, it's tons of kettlebells. Down another side, it's all battling ropes. We've got some squat racks and cages and things. It kind of has that appearance of a CrossFit gym, but we don't do the sport of CrossFit. We cater towards group training and general population.
And you do all the lifting and
basically anything that our clients request, we do. So
a bit more on you. You're an Australian rep.
I am.
Yeah. Do you want to give me some insight? What's your sport about?
So I'm a participant for Guru Voice Sport. So for people who aren't familiar with that, it is the activity of kettlebell lifting, which is big in Europe, and in the last maybe 20 odd years, since 1989, so in the last 25 plus years it's starting to branch out into the rest of the world.
Starting to pick up here in Australia.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an underground sport in Australia for the last couple of years, but there's been some really dedicated lifters that have really helped nurture it and become a bit into the mainstay. In fact, it's growing exponentially. In competitions last year, there's only like a handful of lifters at different meets, and now it's just doubled and tripled in numbers at those same meets.
What does the sport include?
So, for people who are familiar with kettlebell lifting, there's snatches, jerks, and the long cycle, the clean and jerk.
And that's a swing into a jerk.
It's there, clean into a jerk. Yeah. And in the competition, it is people, or it's you actually, just trying to do as many reps as you can with a 10-minute time limit. So I'm very familiar with this thing, right?
Okay.
And
you'd be at around about 50 reps by now?
It depends on the lift and the weight, which is the cool thing about it too. So it kind of works in a ranking system, not too unlike martial arts where you're awarded for your skill set, basically. Okay. So based on how much you weigh and the kettlebell that you select and the lift that you choose, there's ranking tables depending on which competition you are a part of, and you get awarded, levels of ranking based on that.
The sport's taken you anywhere overseas?
It has. Last year was the first time that I decided to expand my horizons in the sport and commit to it a little bit, and went to the Australian Nationals and did all right there, and then as a part of that represented Australia in part of the men's division of the sport in Ireland. So I went to Dublin for the IUKA World Championships.
How'd you go?
First time out, great. It was one of those things. It was just like PBs all day. I'm not sure how to really.
Every rep was a PB.
Yeah, basically, felt like it. Yeah. First time I'd lifted in front of that many people. First time I'd lifted representing the green and gold, and first time being in that scenario where there was just so much going on. It was wonderful. It was just one of those things where it was transcendent. You didn't really realise what you were doing.
Was it big in Ireland? Was there a crowd? Or?
Yeah, Ireland being the host nation, it was massive. So just to give you a context of how much the sport itself's growing, I think there was 535 odd athletes from 36 countries. So it's nearly got enough countries representing it to become an Olympic sport. They need to just get a few more countries on board, and then it can get recognised from that too. So there's potential for it to become an Olympic sport too.
How's that going to happen? You have to just do.
They've got to tick some boxes.
Share more of it through social media.
Oh, you mean how's the sport grow?
Oh yeah. Well, what's their plan to get it into the? Are they actually planning to get it into the Olympics?
They're trying to. Yeah. So they have to tick a few boxes. One of them's like. Form an association with like the World Anti-Doping Association, which they did last year for the first time. The other thing too is get X amount of countries registered on a global scale. So enough countries have to be interested in it for it to become a Olympic sport. Otherwise, like two countries would just turn up and be the only countries there. Yeah. I'm not sure what that number is, but they're registering more every year, so it's getting closer.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
To buy your own tracksuit, or did you actually get an Australian kit?
I got an Australian kit, but we're not a sponsored sport, so it's all off your own back. You got to pay for your own flights and everything. Right. Yeah, this sport is for fun.
So, what's the future for yourself? Have you got any insight into maybe even how you run your gym? Some insight, maybe a little bit of experience or something, a lesson that you've learnt?
Yeah, for sure. We're a client-based organisation, so they dictate the way things are done. Yeah. Over the last couple of years. Myself and Cheryl, we've had many ideas of what we thought Lone Dog would be, and if we went back 5 years from now or even further back than that, even actually go back 2 years, what it is now is different to where we pictured it, and that comes down to what it is people want from us. At the end, we're a service, we're a client-based industry, so if they want something specific from us, we will give it to them. Yeah. They just turn to us for a bit of guidance.
I suppose the market's evolving too. And, 10 years ago it was all the 24-hour gyms, and I think before that was aerobics,
right?
Sweatbands and that type of stuff. And I think people, CrossFit came in, got a lot more awareness on lifting, and I suppose working in a community, slightly higher intensity, which is great. Yeah. Great for us, being human. And obviously places like yourself, it's sort of going more into the functional and with the focus of mobility. You're really big on the mobility too.
Yeah, in terms of that, it's just one of those things where investigating it for myself, again, just trying to sort out education for things. just led me down certain paths that. Oh, actually, I ended up associated with. I work for Trigger Point. I'm also a presenter for Trigger Point, right?
Yeah.
So
It's been a long day.
yeah, I know, right? So and TRX. So hello TRX, and also facilitate courses for them. But
What
again,
else do you do?
yeah, I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah.
I've got 36 seconds, right? So in terms of looking after myself and my clients, all the education that we've focused on over the last couple of years, it's all about better serving them. And like you said, the way that the business has evolved, you know, we're now talking to clients about sleeping, for example, not just. Yeah.
It's like whenever you do live TV, there's always an issue. Like
Absolutely.
you know, the camera woman trips on the cord and unplugs it just before the buzzer goes.
I saw Erin messing around at the back there, and I knew 100% that this was going to get wound up like that, because look at her now, she's trying to shake it off.
So look, thanks for coming on to
Hey, you're welcome.
Live Couch.
No,
Got
no
your
problem.
10 minutes of glory.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to post some videos throughout this, and big day tomorrow doing the power roast for ARK.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple of very excited people of the Canberra area wanting to get their battle ropes on, so we're going to actually show them how to make that tool effective instead of just something that they just flog themselves with.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
And get you back on the couch at another stage.
I look forward to it.
Thank you. All right,
Cheers.
let's go. Bye.